I think my life is a life that people can learn from me. When you believe in something and you feel that this is the right thing to do, even you meet a lot of obstacles, meet a lot of problems, as long as you believe in what you're doing, then you keep on doing it because nothing will go wrong. I'm Rosalina Tan. I'm a widow, and my job is really to take care of our environment. To tell my story, it takes me, I'm 70, so it will take a long time to tell my story. I would just say that my life really started when I learned about organic agriculture.
My mom got into the organic industry even when the word organic was not even organic in the Philippines. There was none.
I started in organic, I think it took me almost 20 years. We were the pioneers in organic agriculture here in the Philippines.
More than 20 years ago, she met somebody that showed her the pesticide content of the commercial rice in the Philippines. And she saw like the pesticide level of rice was really high.
A friend of mine sold me the organic rice, and he kept telling me, you know, the rice you buy in the market is laced with poison. The one I'm selling you, this is good food. I want to check if he's telling me the truth. So I bring the sample from him, and also I get from the market. I bring it to the BPI, Bureau of Plant Industry, have it analyzed, and I was surprised. I got the shock of my life because the analysis came out. The organic rice, no pesticide residue. But the one from the market, they said that is a banned pesticide. I was shocked. I said, oh, why are they giving us this food?
And she got scared for us. I mean, for the kids, for my kids, for the family. And she kind of started thinking about organic industry.
During that time, organic agriculture was not very accepted here in the Philippines yet. But we stood our ground and we just pushing our advocacy.
One of those days that she was promoting about the organic farming, she met a farmer and she just wanted to help the farmer.
Here in the Philippines, the farmers really do not earn much. And most of the time, they're short-handed. You know, if everybody knows about the fair trade, but most of the farmers here really do not earn a lot.
James 4:17, if you know the good you ought to do and you did not do it, you also sin. So I said, I better do something about it.
The organic fertilizer she got into, she would give them away to farmers. The lesser use of chemicals would benefit the farmers, plus it will have more yield for the farmers.
Everything starts from the soil. So we make organic fertilizer, give it to the farmer. We are sure you'll be eating organic. You're helping the environment, you're helping to help the people. And that's how you help farmer also.
It did not push through because she gave them all away, and then the farmers kind of wanted immediate results. It's different when it's organic. You have to build up the soil, make it really rich. So like our farmers were not really ready then, so it didn't really prosper.
So I give free samples to the farmers. And even when I sold the fertilizer to them, if they do not pay, I do not collect. Just them for the chance to use. That's why I kept spending money and no income coming back. I went bankrupt after 3 years only. I lost everything.
It was very hard for her to accept that it wasn't going to work. I said it was probably not the right time yet, so we put a stop on it. And she was like, down.
I feel so guilty. Then I told my kids, oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize I did a big mistake. I did not leave anything for you guys. But I'm so comforted by what my children tell me. They answer me, you know, Mommy, don't feel guilty because we are so happy because you already give us the best already.
She's been through a lot of ups and downs. She's able to help a lot of people. Even during the time that she was down, she she would still help. And that's, I guess, what's really good about my mom, that we're trying to duplicate even in our family. Like, I'm trying to instill those values to my kids.
Oh, that gives me a big relief. They do not blame me. And I'm so happy I raise up my kids that way. I think that is one thing that gives me another boost and strength to move to something different.
When it went down, she needed to work on something, and that was the time that she decided to go to Bicol, and that was when she was introduced to Pili. So the Bicol region has 6 provinces: Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, then we have Albay, Sorsogon, where I am from, and then 2 islands which are Catanduanes and then Masbate. This is also where you find the perfect cone, the Mayon volcano. In this part of Luzon, we experience typhoons whole year round. Also, we have volcanic eruptions, but the land is quite fertile.
The Bicol region is an agricultural region. We cannot exist without agriculture.
I'm grown up in a family of farmer. I'm also a farmer. But if the pest is attacking the farm or some natural disaster, it will be gone. We have no money, we have no way to live.
In this particular part of the country, the people really must be resilient. Every year we experience the typhoons. But of course, the people are used to it. They know when the typhoons are coming, so what they do is they would be planting what's suitable for that particular season, and they plant the different species or crops so they can harvest early. So we have a lot of crops, rice, we have coconut plantations in here, we have abaca, and of course, pili.
Pili is something that nobody outside the Philippines and Bicol know about. It's a fruit, but it has a nut that is called a superfood. It's rich in antioxidants.
If you will taste pili, you will never forget the flavor, the aroma, and everything. And you will wanted it to taste it oftentimes, especially if it's already be coated with sugar, and it's perfect.
The pili tree bear fruits almost all year long. It's like a friend that you can depend on. You don't have to plant it, it just grows there. Whenever there's a typhoon, right after the typhoon, there's a lot of blooms, it flowers, and then it gives you more fruits. That's just how the pili tree is. Believe it or not, this place where the pili is, they know the pili nut, they know the pili fruit, but not a lot of people knows that there exists a pili resin.
These are the 2 varieties of pili. One is Lusonicum. This is what we call piling liitan. And the scientific name of piling liitan is Lusonicum. This one is the natural pili. And this is the more commercial pili. But in terms of resin, this one has more resin than this one.
Elemi is from a resin from the pili tree, which only comes from a very small region of the Philippines, of anywhere on Earth.
The Elemi has all the antibacterial properties. It has the firming properties that people don't really know about. For more than 30 years, there's this company, a very well-known company, that buys the Elemi resin from the Philippines, and they're actually buying it from a trader from the Philippines, here from our country, at a not so friendly price. So during those years, there were actually a lot of trees that died because of the indiscriminate tapping, because these farmers wanted to sell more.
It's a beautiful place with amazing natural attributes and qualities, amazing soil and climate and plants and animals, and a lot of value in those natural attributes. Often foreigners, when they come into the Philippines, I've found, not in every case, I must stress not in every case, they'll recognize these values and they'll try and capture those values for themselves. And so they may not be concerned about traceability, sustainability, paying the farmers a fair wage. They may just try and pay the lowest price possible and capture that value. And that's where it's so critical to take a long-term view to allow the farmer to participate and make sure that they're rewarded and make sure they're performing to support the sustainability of the project, but ensuring that they share in the value of the project.
A farmer came up to my mom selling her a bottle of pili oil. If nobody buys the bottle of oil, he would not be able to go home, so she just bought it. And she would just buy it and she didn't know what to do with it. She just wanted to help, just wanted the farmer to go home. That's how it started.
Mrs. Rosalina Tan just started buying all the resin just to help the farmers, because they would come to her and then they would offer her this resin, and then they'd tell her that we need to buy food, we need to buy rice for the children's school, and she would just continue buying. And she bought a lot until they noticed that she actually occupied the entire warehouse already. Her children told her, "You really have to do something about your resin and your oil."
I do not know what to do with the Elemi. I just stuck it. I just keep stacking it. It gets so hard already. So when my daughter comes, "What are you doing with this?" I do not know yet, but I'm researching. Wait, I'm researching.
The farmers would tell her about the resin. And since she's very interested, she's always wanted to be a scientist, and that's when they started to process it. When she started distilling, producing the Elemi oil, she has friends in Department of Science and Technology. She would send samples and had them tested. She sent samples to Turkey. She has a good friend from Turkey who's a scientist, and then would send back the results to her. She just wanted to have them tested.
She was doing studies, she was coordinating with local governments, she had all the tests done. It wasn't until I checked her emails. Surprisingly, she has emails. She has her own website, she has everything, but she doesn't open it. So I checked the emails, and she was getting a lot of inquiries from US, from France about the oil. So I said, it's worth looking into, because she's storing a lot of inventories that we didn't know what to do with.
What they wanted to do was to introduce Manila Elemi to the world, and they also told me that the good thing about this project is, instead of the locals sending or selling the resin abroad for a few bucks, we will be distilling it locally. And then you, the people, are going to be earning more, and at the same time, the community will be helped, which is actually very interesting. Helping the people around, that's a good thing, and having pili resin known globally, that's a good thing.
My name is Resti Arioveros. My family has been a farmer ever since I was a child. We grow pili trees. We've been doing it for almost 20 to 30 years, I suppose. But we stopped when the price of the resins became low. And that was actually 10 years ago. This June, we encountered a person, Ma'am Rosalina Tan, and she made us an offer that the price of our pili resins will be higher than it ever was. Our family became excited, and I started cultivation of raisins again.
For years, Bicol region had been selling the resin, send it over to France for a very, very low price. And then they'd process it abroad, and then when it returns to the Philippines and to some other parts of the world, it's so expensive already. The good thing about having the distillation here is that we would be able to hire locals. So we can help the farmers, because we pay a lot higher than the buyers. We care about the farmers, we care about the trees, because we're trying to promote sustainability. The thing is, if we try to buy the resin in a much cheaper price, these farmers, because they need the money, they're gonna overtap their trees, and then that's gonna kill the trees.
Because they're buying so low, the farmers have to keep tapping. That's why I say, I don't buy too low, because if you buy too low, they are not making money, so maybe they'll tap more and the tree will die. I keep telling them, you're killing your golden goose.
Hindi, they invited us for sort of a seminar, and it's how to tap the trees of pilis. It is best that we have that seminar. So we learned a lot from that seminar. Also, we learned the difference between the variety of pili trees. We learned what pili trees have most raisins and raisins that don't produce much.
We have a proper measurement for the tapping procedure. From the ground to the trunk of the pili, we have a 60 centimeter from the ground. Then we cut horizontal of 15 centimeter. Then the width of the cut is 1.52 millimeter. We are also conducting geotagging so that we can monitor the pili tree if it is and have a pest or have a disease or it will cut.
When we collecting resin, so we are tracing back where it came from.
Now you can have a barrel of our Elemi essential oil in the US or Europe, wherever it may be, and trace back the resin that was used to produce that oil. And then you can also trace back the trees that resin came from, and therefore confirm that the permits and licenses were in place, that the farm was paid properly, that they had the land tenure, and you have a full traceability and guaranteed legal and verifiable supply chain. And I think that's integral for a product that's often wild harvested. It's critical. And so bringing all of that together, you pay those people well so that they perform well, and then you can give the confidence to the customer that they have a product that's fully sustainable.
When I started, of course, there's a lot of people, very negative response, and they thought I'm a health freak, I'm a OC. But since I believe in what I'm doing, I stand firm, and maybe after 20 years, now they believe in what I'm saying, and they are practicing what I'm telling them.
There's a point in her life that she was really down. She would always say that, I'm a failure because she thought that being successful tantamounts to being rich. But we always tell her, Ma, you gave us a good name. You were able to bring us up, pretty well, I guess. But there was a time that she was saying that she was really a failure. So during the convention, that made her really realize that, okay, everything that I did not go to vain.
We are happy to announce the Happy Pili Tree as the 9th and newest Young Living Partner Farm. We couldn't have done it without Rosalina and her team, and they happen to be here. So, Rosalina and your team, please stand.
I'm not so sure if you saw it, but she cried. All the good that she's been doing is acknowledged, and that's the best part for her. She has a very good heart. So that convention made her back to her jolly self.
I cried. I'm so touched. I feel a sense of pride. And there are many Filipinos in Utah. They're cheering on, so that gives me more pride. They also feel that there's a pride in our product.
There's goosebumps all over. Everybody was cheering. I just turned my back and I just checked and just looked around the people and I just started crying. Okay, there's just this pride, and there's just this genuine happiness.
We eagerly offered the Happy Pili Tree Farm a grant to build the very first commercial-scale distillery, really forging new economic future for the Bicolanos.
When I look at the screen, when I saw the distillation machine, I just told myself, we're doing something right in here.
My 2 grandchildren saw the events. Now they understand, because before they don't understand what I'm doing. But now they understand. They also feel the pride. And that's what makes me happy.
I am extremely grateful of the opportunity Ma'am Lina has given to me. Not just the opportunity to be part of this company, but she has treated me like her own child. She has taken care of me. Right? I'm staying with her in her house. My mother passed away in 2015, and I've been longing for a mother. And my kids have been longing for a grandmother. And I think she filled hole in my heart, and I'm extremely grateful.
Rosalind, she's a shrewd negotiator. I mean, her and I have negotiations, and at the end of it, she always says to me, but you know what I'm going to do with the money, right? Anyway, I'm going to give it back to the people, and then it's, okay, come on, then, let's go. So she's a very good woman, and the people are lucky to have her. And I really think that we're still in the early days for this industry, and I really think that what we're demonstrating here on sustainable supply chain for Elemi will become the industry standard, and it should become the industry standard, and that it's very rewarding.
Here, we do not plow the fields, we do not grow crops, we do not do any of those things. What we do here is we are trying to replace the ecosystem that is here today that has been debilitated back into the ecosystem that it once was in the state of Hawaii.